Welcome back to Prepping the Truth. I'm Jeff. I'm her husband. My channel is Storm of Truth. I'd love to have you come there and subscribe also. Okay, this is must-have preps that's needed in case SHTF happens, or maybe a natural disaster or survival situation. This is food and items you need to survive. And this is item number 1. They're no in specific order. I'd love to have you let me know in the comments what you recommend also in case of a survival situation or SHTF situation if it goes down. This right here is a highly underrated prep. The swing away ones is real good too. I highly recommend them can openers too. But this one, we got this Family Dollar Tree, and this, I think we paid $5 for it. And this right now, so far, has been a real good can opener. It blows them Dollar Tree ones away. It feels heavy duty to me. We've opened all kinds of stuff with it, and it feels real good, real strong. So I would recommend that for a $5 item. And that's probably more needed. Besides water, that right there is probably the next thing in item right now. Just think about for survival right there. You need several of them can openers. One just ain't gonna get. You need several can openers just in case scenario, in case the store's closed down. And water has got to be right there number 1 with anything, because if you might go without food for a while, but water for dehydration, you won't last long if you dehydrate. So I would recommend water, stockpiling water, a water filtration system, a big Berkey one, whatever else you can do, whatever your economy can do on water. Maybe you got a well or something. If you don't, if you got the money to build you a well, build you a well. Okay, here's another one. Baking soda. That is a good cleaning item that you need on hand. You can brush your teeth with it, or we keep this in the refrigerator. It keeps the odors down. I know all y'all women and men knows that little trick. It's one of the best things they are. Which we try to keep our refrigerator as clean as possible, but for any kind of smell or anything, that stuff right there, it just works amazing. It's got so much cleaning properties. Okay, let me get another item. Here's another one. And just like I said, they're in no particular order. Apple cider distilled vinegar. Every once in a while, I take a spoonful and I drink that. And it's got so much properties and everything in it. You're better off to really get the organic kind. This is just the cheap kind that you can still get good price for the money. But it's got so many, just like I know y'all know the properties on apple cider vinegar. But just like I said, get the Mother's one. The organic one is the one I recommend. But I went ahead and just put this up here to go ahead and show you. We're prepping them both, to tell you the truth. Okay. Here's something else I recommend. If you don't have a dehydrator, get you a dehydrator. They got so many uses you can do on them right there, dehydrating stuff. And I mean, it can just get the job done. No matter what you're dehydrating for long-term food storage. You can do that. Then go ahead and get you, if you don't have one, get you a vacuum sealer. You need both them prepper items. For long-term storage, you can't beat them. Something goes down, you'll have something to eat. Here's something else I recommend. Rechargeable flashlight. I definitely recommend that. Here's another one. That's for Patriots. That flashlight. I recommend that one. And we should have a link so you can go ahead and buy this off 4 Patriots. You can check down there in the link in the description box. She'll have one there. And a rechargeable flashlight off Amazon. And if you're buying anything off Amazon, I'd appreciate you to hit the link or whatever. We don't make much off of it, just a small fee. But it won't cost you no extra, and it'll help us out and everything. We'd love for you to consider that. Okay, let me show you something else I do recommend, especially for power. Both of them's awesome for power outages. Here's another item. And the link will be in the description box on that too. Them is awesome for a power outage. You can more or less charge them up in your window. They're so easy to charge up and they'll last for a while. And I'll go ahead and show you. I'll do a little demonstration. Probably blind you a little bit. Let me go ahead and move it out of your way so it won't blind you. You can see how bright they are. And they're lightweight and they got a hanger on them. You just can't beat them. If you don't have one of them for the money, we'll put a link in the description box too on them. You need to get them. Okay, something else I hadn't got over here yet. Let me get them. Definitely, you need emergency candles and matches. You cannot have too many of them. Matches, lighters, all that. You definitely need them. So the matches and lighters is going to go along with this right here, even though I don't have them right here. For emergency use, you got to have them. Okay, let's go to another item. Here's another one. Salt. You can get that salt cheap. I messed up. I started to say chalk. Sorry about that. You can get that salt cheap still. We got that at the Dollar Tree for $1, which they went up to $1.25. But that's pretty good salt, that Himalayan pink salt. And they're saying it's good at more or less lowering your blood pressure compared to the non-iodized and iodized salt. And I've had a problem with my blood pressure, so this really don't hurt me that much. So it's probably true. You can try it out for you. I don't know if it helps you or not, but I think it does for me. Here's something else too. Distilled vinegar, white vinegar. It's got so much cleaning properties, unbelievable, and it's still pretty cheap for the money for the big old bottle. Just get the cheapest bottle you can get. It's all going to be about the same strength. And that stuff, just like I said, for like an organic cleaner, it'll get the job done. Just all-purpose cleaner is probably one of the best cleaners on the face of this earth. I recommend that. Okay, here's some food preps. Tuna. That's still cheap for the money. I know they say a lot of it's got mercury in it, but during a survival situation, I think mercury's going to be the least thing on your mind. And right now, while they still got that there cheap for the money, if you eat fish, or maybe you want to use it for a barter item, you can still get it real cheap if you want the oil, water, or whatever. That's a good item to be prepping right now. And here's something else I think is a little underrated. You can still get this pretty cheap. The Hunt's pasta sauce. It's not the best sauce in the world, but you can always doctor it up for a cheap sauce, more or less a pasta, whatever you want to make with it, a cheap meal out of it. That is a good item right now for a survival situation to be getting and prepping. Here's something else. They're talking about war all the time, rumors of war. This is a wartime food that will last a long time past that expiration date. There's so many different varieties. There's a luncheon meat, all different kind ones. The generic ones is a lot cheaper than this kind. So whichever one you're prepping, get a bunch of it just in case scenario, because it will last way past that expiration date. Here's another item. Peanut butter. If you don't have a peanut allergy, which I know a bunch of people does, you need to be prepping peanut butter. That is a very good meat substitute with a lot of protein in it. If you are a meat eater and you had to just stay away from meat for a while, this will get you some protein. And so many people still eat peanut butter, so whatever kind you want to get, that's up to you. I know there's healthier ones, there's organic ones and all that, but whichever one you want to be prepping, that's your own choice, but we do prep peanut butter. Okay, here's another one that's still real good for the money. That's the Great Value Quick Oats. That is a good prep for the money, and that'll last a long time. We're a family of 4, and there's so much stuff you can just make a quick meal out of that. You could even make cookies out of that. I got beat in a competition with them cookies right there. The chocolate drop cookies. I know y'all know the ones I'm talking about, the no-bake ones. A lot of y'all probably seen that. My wife had a little competition with cookies against me, and she beat me on them. But them things for a quick meal, and they're pretty healthy for you too. However you eat them, I recommend getting them. They'll last a long time too. Okay, here's spaghetti sauce. That right there is ragu. You can get all the generic kinds you want to get, the pasta sauce. And for the money, you can't go wrong with that. You can prep them generic ones, especially at Aldi's, and Aldi's ones. It's cheaper than the ragu, and to me, they taste better. I don't know if you tried the Aldi brand, but it's very good, and I do recommend the Aldi brand. And you'll save some money too. Okay, here's another one. Y'all probably can tell by the sound what this is. Ramen Noodle. That's a survival food that you, more or less a filler that you can add something to it. That's still real cheap, even though it has went up some during these times. But whatever flavors you get, you probably eat all of them. Beef is my favorite flavor. Everybody's got different flavors. Whatever flavor you like, be sure and prep it if you eat it. That's a lot better than nothing, especially if hard times comes. It'll fill you up. And just like I said, you can add something with it, meats or whatever you want to add to it. Okay, here's something else. I don't know if you eat them or not, but grits, that's a good filler food that's really easy to fix. And there's so many different ways to eat them. And them will last a while too. And for survival food, I think it's a very good option. There's so many different flavors just like that, and that's the butter one. Okay, let's go to something else. Complete pancake and waffle mix. You need some syrup, which a lot of people has got diabetes and stuff, so get the ones without syrup if you have to, whichever one you like. It just depends on you right there if you can eat sugar or not. I know so many people can't now. But you can put blueberries, blackberries, all kind of fruits, strawberries in that, and make a meal out of that, a quick prepper meal. That's why we prep that. It's so easy to do. Just another option. A survival food. It's easy to fix. Okay, here's another one. If you're not prepping this one, the instant non-fat dry milk, you need to get some of it. That's a good milk replacement that'll last years and years, way past that date. And you can cook with it. It tastes so much better than the water. It's unbelievable to me. And you'll acquire a taste for it. I done have. I like it just as good cooking with that as I do milk. That's a great value brand. There's so many different brands. Just whichever kind you want to get at a deal, just try to get you some. Just like I said, it'll last a long time. And here's one outside of the box. But I do recommend, because so many people's got cast iron skillets. So this is a good one just more or less to put up, to blacken your skillets in case you have to cook indoors, outdoors, whatever, during a survival situation. Because they do, every once in a while, you have to do that cast iron skillet. You got to blacken them things out. You don't need them rusty. So you definitely need some kind of Crisco grease or something like that, even if you get the cheaper kind, whatever you want to use that you trust, to blacken your skillets. We went away from eating a bunch of southern fried foods and stuff like that. We mainly just cook in an air fryer for our health. But still, that right there has got so much uses to blacken skillets and everything else. So you need to be prepping some of that for just in case scenario. Okay, here's another one. Hamburger Helper. There's so many different varieties, and still it's real cheap for a filler meal. You can eat it even without the meat, and it'll still fill you up. Or add the meat to it. It's a very quick meal. I know all y'all knows that. And there's so many flavors to choose from, you won't more or less get burned on the same thing. Okay, here's something else. You definitely need to be prepping that for long term. You can make meals out of that. There's something, eat right out of the box, whatever you want to do on that. That's your survival food. They'll last past the date too. That's up to you how long you want to test it after the date. But just like I said, you can make meals out of it. You can put hamburger in, make your own macaroni and cheese and stuff out of that. The Hamburger Helper style, the homemade kind. And there you go. That finishes up the video. I want you to let me know too in the comments what's some that you recommend that you really need during a survival situation or maybe a power outage to get us through to live another day. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll be waiting for them comments, and y'all have a good day.